Hello, today I'm going to talk about rent control. Can I ask, what is rent control? Of course you can. Rent control is considered as a special kind of price control. It is a set of government-issued laws which include the limitation of rent increase and restriction of eviction. In the United States, rent control laws are usually adopted by cities. Some cities from state California, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and District of Columbia have passed rent control laws. There are three reasons why government passed rent control laws. First, rent increases too fast. Second, tenants need protection. Third, landlords need protection too. Next, I'm going to talk about the history of rent control. Rent control history in America can be separated into three stages. During World War II, a large number of resources were used in military fields, such as the production of military uniforms, weapons, food, and supplies. The government spending increased rapidly due to the war. A shortage of commodities in the market had appeared. On November 1, 1943, Office of Price Administration of United States issued an edict stated the rent in New York City has to maintain the same price as of March 1, 1943. No landlord is allowed to raise the price of renting. Due to the Vietnam War and increase in gasoline price, U.S. economy had encountered recession and stagflation. In order to solve that problem, in the 1970s, there were 170 cities in America enacted new rent control laws. Rent control policies in the United States started winning since the 1980s from two aspects. First, more and more states had abandoned rent control. Second, the states with rent control were reforming rent control laws. The tendency was easing the policies. What are the current ways of executing rent control? There are two basic ways to execute rent control. First, vacancy decontrol. Second, vacancy control. The landlord is not necessarily allowed to raise the price by a significant amount when the original tenant is still there. Vacancy decontrol statute means the landlord may reset the rent when the particular tenant moved out. Vacancy control statute sets a base rent on the leased properties. When new tenants come, the landlord cannot raise the price to the market rate. The rented house or apartment is still subject to the rent control. The most significant benefit of rent control is to reduce unstable rent for tenants. For landlords, rent control apartment will motivate more tenants to hold a contract. Rent control not only increases the demand for rent units, but also lets tenants pay full rent on time. Here is a graph of demand and short-term supply curve in rent market. On horizontal axis is the quantities of rent units. On the vertical axis is the price. Rent control puts a price ceiling under market equilibrium price, thus a small shortage will occur. In long-term run, a larger amount of shortage will occur due to the supply of rent becoming elastic. More people will stop investing money in rent market, and landlords will stop to rent their properties because reduction of profit. Outcomes of rent control. Rent control laws are not fair for tenants. First of all, not every rented property is under rent control. Second, to make sure landlords to receive constant and on-time rent, house owners will rent the apartment prior to those who have a higher income.
Created using Powtoon.